The world is mine. This video forced itself into making from comments I received last week from subscribers, and also from a conversation I had with Simp A. Simp A, being a friend I spoke about in videos a long time ago, has now come to the conclusion, of which I have been telling him for quite a while now, that his woman does not want him and that she has been using him for the longest time. He has now come to that realization. But something he said, which correlates with what some of my subscribers have said, is the feeling of melancholy, knowing that from now on, that dream we had of family and love and the picket fence is non-existent. And for some men, that feeling is far too daunting. So on Friday last week, Simp A calls me up and says he wants to have a conversation. He wants to talk about a few things. Now, because Simp A was an avid video gamer, I expected that we would have a long conversation about this week's E3. Him being a Sony stan fanboy, he would always tell me as to why Sony is ahead of the game and how Nintendo and Microsoft are playing catch up. But gaming was not the topic of our conversation. No, aside from the things men love to do in their lives, another main topic of a man's life is women. Woman. Their woman, their wife, their girlfriend. Women. Now, before the conversation went there, I said to him, bro, I do not want to talk about your woman, because I have said things to you before of which you have ignored and of which have come to pass. I reminded him that I do not know his woman at all, but yet I have told him things that his woman has ended up doing. And he once looked at me and asked me, how the hell do you know that? He has no idea I am Replicant Fish, so of course I play it down. But at this point, he now says to me he has no place to live. So the house he has been paying for the past 3-4 years, the house that he has bought all the appliances for, all the overpriced appliances of which she wanted, all the large screen TVs in the multiple rooms in the house, her car, and all her luxuries which she enjoys constantly because of him, she now tells him she does not want him, and he is now homeless. Also, they have 2 children. So now he is in a position where he will continue to pay for her and her lifestyle while not being there. So now she will get all of his financial benefits and he will get nothing. Another man paying out of his arse for a woman that does not deserve it. Now, he was blinded by her because of how she carries herself. She's not the typical shouty woman. No, she does her things in a more subtle way. And because of this, he thought she was different. Because everyone else around him had shouty girlfriends, but because she was so calm and subtle with her nonsense, he thought she was different. I explained to him that the subtle ones are the worst, because they will have you in such a mindfuck that by the time you realize you are being raped, it's far too late. You see, she has played mind games on him to a level that is actually sickening. And this is a common thing. Women do this. They want to have you in that mind frame of which you continue to provide for them. Even when you get no benefit, you still have to be there like the mule providing for them. So I snapped. I lost my cool edge and I completely snapped. I said to him, fuck that bitch. She's manipulating you and using you. And like an idiot, you are just sitting there taking it. She is a useless whore that would be nothing without you. Because before you came into her life, she was nothing. Now because of you, she has a house, kids, and a lifestyle she would not be able to acquire by herself. I told him to see how important you have been, and how much of a burden she has been and is and will be. And then he said to me this, the point of this video. He said, yes, I realize that, but I had this dream in my head of this family that we were supposed to have. I had this vision of us being together, having our children, having a home, and living this beautiful life together as a family in this modern world. I had to look deep into his eyes and remind him, bro, that is a dream many of us have had. You need to face the reality, because no matter what we as men want and expect from these women, they are still the same manipulative, devious women we have nowadays. Yes, we as men love really hard. We have this thought of creating and building a family, because as men we are builders, we are creators, we want to do that. As men, we believed that in order to have our perfect family and life, we need to have this woman of which we love and whom loves us back. That is a beautiful dream, but it's still a dream. The truth is stranger than fiction. And yes, for as much as many of us wanted that beautiful dream to be a reality, it is not. Because understanding women, learning about them and knowing who they are is a hard and harsh truth. When I was going through my red pill rage, when I was very angry, part of it was due to that. The realization that I had been right. That I knew these women were never going to be anything more than they were. That they would never be able to make me happy. That they would always bring me down, slow me down. That I would always mean little to them in comparison to their own life. And that no matter how much I loved and how much I fell, I would never get that back or get that from her, from them. So I had to tell him, as much as you have this thought in your head, this dream of a perfect family life, you are destroying yourself by staying there, clinging onto her, begging her to keep you in order to have this dream that you have in your head. 'Tis just a dream. Let me explain a few things about Simp A quickly. Simp A works very good jobs, so he works long hours. Simp A makes a lot of money in his jobs. But you would often find Simp A broke simply because of how much he was trying to provide this lifestyle to fulfill this dream. Simp A used to wake up in the morning, wash, dress and feed his daughter, then leave for work just as the mother wakes up. And then when he gets back from work, what does he do? Sit down and have his dinner? No, come on. Modern woman here, modern woman. He gets back from work and then he has to cook dinner. Not only that, not only that. After dinner is cooked, then he has to clean up. Not only the mess he has made since he has been home, but no, the mess throughout the day. And when I ask him, so why do you tolerate this? He says, well, she has a child through the day, so she has a hard job as well, so blah, blah, blah. The excuse women like to make how hard their job is at home, so when you go to work, your job is negligible and means nothing because raising a child is so much more harder than going to work. So she believes he had to go to work and still come home and take care of his child and her and the house. I have said many things to Simp A. The reason I call him Simp A is because of how much of a simp he is. But you see, Simp A is coming to the hard realization that everything I said to him is now coming to play. And when I told him she does not want you and she will kick you out soon, lo and behold, she does not want him, she has kicked him out. I told him, if you go back, she will fuck you over even more, because they broke up sometime last year for about a few days. And I told him, do not go back for a sequel. A sequel I refer to as going back to a relationship, because sequels are usually shit. They are not as good as the originals most of the time. We're not going to count Empire Strikes Back here, but we will count The Last Jedi, because you will regret going back. But like a fool, he went back. He went back. And after I'd finished roasting his baby mother and telling him how much of a whore and how much of a useless bitch she was, do you know what he said? Thank you. I was like, wow, why did you say thank you? He said, this is the reason I came to you. Because you would say to me what no one else would say. You will tell me the truth in a world where people are seemingly lying to me. That's what he said to me. And I was like, well, there you go. I have no time for no nonsense or bullshit. We were once really good friends until he met this woman. Then his life changed. For as much as this man was a gamer, he stopped playing games. When I say he's a Sony fanboy, he's a Sony fanboy. The fact that he does not own a copy of God of War is actually ridiculous. This guy is a Sony fiend, but yet he refuses to buy the game because for one, he would not have time to play it, and for two, because his woman does not want him to get it. So yes, I snapped at him and I told him some real shit. Strange, when he came to my house, he was actually down and looking miserable. But yet after I cussed his woman and told him what his woman was really like, he left the house more upbeat. Actually smiling. Seemed more bubbly. That's strange, is it not? That reminding a man of what he already knows, that his life will be better without her. Strange how that could actually make a man feel better about himself. Strange, isn't it? Men, do not feel guilty if any of you have that melancholy feeling of a dream lost. That beautiful thought you had in your head of family, love and life is now shattered. Yes, the realization may be painful, but when you understand the dangers, the consequences, you can only ever associate women with putting your hand in a shark's mouth, with putting your penis in a tank filled with piranha, like having your heart ripped from your chest like Kano in Mortal Kombat. Men look at women and think dreams are made of these. But we understand 'tis no dream, only a nightmare. The dreams we once had are beautiful dreams indeed. The sad truth is the reality of your dream is non-existent. Because even the men that thought they had found that dream, most of them end up spending the rest of their life in a living nightmare. Create and build new dreams. New dreams where you are the center of that dream. New dreams that do not involve what we are programmed to think and want. Because we are programmed to love and want women and think they will provide us with a family, that makes us very easy to be used and abused. Shut off that programming so you can see it and them for what they truly are. Only then can you open yourself up to newer, bigger, more grand dreams. Dreams that can actually make your life better. Explore it, gentlemen. Feel it, know it, and understand it. And never forget, the world is yours. Have a nice day.